what's up, Trona? I'm Regina, and welcome to our very first episode for our community news. I just put out the weekly or monthly newsletter, and we'll go through a couple of things, and then hopefully I'll be able to do this about once a week, just for the fun of it. If anybody wants to participate, of course, just let me know, and I'm happy to kind of give it over. Today is October 4th, so it's, of course, going to be the week of the 4th, and we have about 27 days until Halloween. Of course, naturally, the county put out some new guidelines for us in order to enjoy that holiday without having a whole lot of issues. So the county's new guidelines, of course, still go along the lines of what the state has, with no large gatherings, so no haunted houses, no theme park type items or petting zoos or anything like that. That's kind of a common sense thing right about now, unfortunately. What is open is some of the pumpkin patches, and of course I can't talk today. So contact the pumpkin patch before you actually go out there and find out for sure if they are open, because some of them are. This isn't for Kern County, so if you're planning on going to a different county, contact them beforehand. As far as trick-or-treating, San Bernardino has said that we can, but we need to use some basic common sense. So wear a mask even if you don't want to. Children need to definitely wear a mask. Use social distancing, which is 6 feet apart or more. And then a lot of houses, especially here in Trona, unfortunately, some of this won't work, but finding new and creative ways in order to pass out candy. So some people are using PVC pipes and other things in order to not get close to children. If you're able to do so, please do. That way we can, all be safe. We've had low numbers here in Trona, so let's hopefully keep it that way. Using tongs and gloves while handling candy is actually a really good idea as well. It's kind of silly, but instead of using your bare hands, at least make sure and use sanitizer or wash your hands frequently when passing out candy to kids this year. And those passing out candy, make sure you have a mask on, as well as the kids around you having a mask on. It's just for the safety, and while we don't all agree with it, it is something mandated by the county. So we should all at least follow it, and hopefully by next year, this will all be over. Coronavirus still running around, the state unfortunately has decided that it wants to make a tier system for us, and as many of us saw on Facebook, this thing makes almost no sense. But since it's what the county is, or the state has decided to go with, that's what we have. So taking a look at it, unfortunately, purple, red, orange, and then this yellow color, which this color scheme makes no sense at all anyways. That's not how you label things. Especially when you're doing color schemes to reopen. Purple being, though, basically everything is still closed, you're still in lockdown phases, all of that nonsense. Not a whole lot of counties are in any of the other 3 phases. Most are in purple. So if you take a look at the county map for the entire state, you can actually see that a good portion of Southern California is still in purple. Riverside, Orange, and San Diego counties have somehow made it to the red phase of reopening. I don't really know how, considering their cases are still higher than ours, but it is what it is. Kern County is actually looking at moving into the substantial phase, which is that red phase. But that's yet to be foreseen. They were hoping that it would happen last week. It did not. So hopefully maybe this Tuesday we'll have an update and things in Ridgecrest will kind of calm down a little bit and we can reopen some more things. As you can see, most of the stuff in Northern California is in the moderate to minimal. That really weird yellow dot up in the top is actually Modoc County, and that's not surprising. There's almost nobody who lives there. So it's a very sparse region of the state, so they don't have a whole lot of people living in that area. Some of these others, same thing, low populations, so they're going to have low numbers regardless of what they do, even though they may have cases in their own communities. Looking at our wonderful county numbers, these were updated as of this morning, so October 4th. And San Bernardino County is sitting at 56,275 cases in total currently active. Those are not cases overall. Those are just cases that they currently know about within the county. Majority of those are down south of us. Our case level has actually remained the same, even though it's getting included with all of this stuff. Now, 53,000 people have already recovered. Unfortunately, we've had 962 deaths within San Bernardino County. Moving on, of course, to Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. They are our closest hospital, unfortunately. There's 128 cases between this entire valley, so the IWV. There's 128. 11 cases of that is in Trona. All 11, from what I understand, are actually recovered and doing well. And we've had no deaths in our area at all since the start of this, which is fantastic for us and actually kind of stinky that we're trapped with everybody else because our counties are both so large. Now, Kern County is at 32,000 cases. They have 16,000 recovered and 386 deaths. So it makes you wonder what's really going on with this tier system. And clearly it's actually not working, since honestly, these counties haven't seen high spikes since the beginning as it is. There were some spikes right after the 4th of July when things kind of started to reopen, but the things closed. So not really sure why we're kind of trapped in this whole situation. Now, the great thing for us when it comes to healthcare out here is our rural healthcare clinic is actually reopening. It'll reopen as of this week. So there will be a FNP and an FNPC at the thing. One named Cecile, the other named Cheryl. They're both coming out of Ridgecrest Regional to do our rural health clinic here. Again, that's going to reopen Tuesday, October 6th. You need to call the phone number and give them a call. That number is 760-499-3855. So give the rural health clinic a call, get those appointments scheduled. That way you don't have to go all the way to Ridgecrest in order to get seen for any of your medical needs. Taking a look at our weather for this week, we should remain in the upper 80s to low 90s all week long with sunny skies and a little bit of clouds. No rain in our forecast, though, for this upcoming week. And for the remainder of the month, it looks like we're going to continue to drop in temperature with some rain possibly at the end of October. For you sports fans, I included some of the scores from today's games, as well as the upcoming games for this week. The Eagles are playing the 49ers. They played today. They're actually playing right now. It is currently 7 p.m. here in Trona. The Patriots are playing the Chiefs on Monday at 4 p.m. Falcons are playing the Packers at 5 p.m. Titans and Steelers had a bye week this week. I believe next week it is a different team, though. And the Buccaneers and the Bears are playing on Thursday at 5 p.m. I'll update these scores next Sunday and let you know who won from all of those games. In major local news, Searles Valley Mineral has decided to go ahead and proceed with a lawsuit against the Groundwater Authority due to a tax disguised as an extraction fee. Of course, as many of you know, the Searles Valley Mineral Company has been unfairly targeted by the Groundwater Authority when it comes to this particular fee. They're looking at about a 7,000% increase, which equates to about $6 million per year deficit every year for their business, which puts about 700 employees, if not more, in serious peril if this thing actually does come to fruition in January. It'll also put all of Trona at risk, since our water will go up substantially just due to costs. Although a couple of people from the IWV board have said that the fee cannot be transferred over to us. It would be illegal to do so. I find that interesting since Ridgecrest got a notification that their groundwater provider for residential and commercial purposes is actually using a pass-through fee. So the actual water supplier is not charging the fee. It's being literally passed through. So the fee gets tacked onto their water bill and goes right to the groundwater authority, which surfing through their bylaws doesn't appear to actually be in there. So I'm not sure how they're getting around this or if they magically created a new rule. Since the groundwater authority did announce that since the vote on this back a couple of months ago, the pumpers within the area have actually decreased pumping. And because of that, this new fee isn't going to collect enough. Now, if that's the case, the groundwater authority should have been completely aware of the fact that this was going to happen. Nobody wants to pay higher fees, especially if they can just reduce their water usage in order to meet the sustainability plan. I do have a conference call on the 5th, so tomorrow, with Sigma and a couple of other people at the state level in order to find out some additional information, since a lot of questions popped up after that vote, especially regarding this lawsuit and how that'll look for the groundwater sustainability plan that was proposed and sent over to the state, which is still in the review process. Actually, last we heard, it hadn't even been reviewed yet because they're backlogged. So with any luck, Searles Valley Mineral will get their injunction. Hopefully we'll hear soon if that is the case. And this thing will actually kind of die in the water. I don't foresee the groundwater authority taking this back. It came about as a 3-to-1 vote, and the one who voted against it has taken some serious backlash from other members of that board. Of course, the board as a whole is completely unrepresenting of the local communities. They are all placed on the board. They are not voted onto the board, which in some aspects is good. In other aspects like this, it is not, since, as we all know, a Revolutionary War was fought directly because of taxation without representation. And this is definitely one of those things. If we're going to be taxed and if people are going to be taxed, then they need to have proper representation. And the Groundwater Authority has no way or any plans of adding in at least 3 additional seats to their board, making it so that the local community is actually represented, since they feel that since they're voted in into other positions, that they actually do represent the communities as a whole, which in my personal opinion is completely not the case. So hopefully, with any luck, like I said, this will not be happening at all. The economic hardships that are going to face Ridgecrest and Trona as a whole are just unprecedented. So all we can hope is that Searles Valley Mineral does in the end win this, and the Groundwater Authority comes up with a much better plan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we can continue doing these every week. If I can't, I will definitely post it on the Facebook or do a short video letting you know what is going on. At least maybe we'll be able to get the weather done. But again, there's no guarantees. I'm just doing this for fun. So if you want to participate, just send us a message on our Facebook page. This will also be posted to our YouTube channel. And with any luck, the person holding the tronanews.com website listing will give it up at the end of the year. I did send an email, so all we can do is hope. All right, I will catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe, and we'll see you later.